Hello and welcome to another video. So as I mentioned in the last video on clove hitches, we're going to take a look at lashing. Now lashing is a fancy term for what is essentially tying two or more sticks together to form maybe part of a structure, maybe part of an art project, maybe its own stable tripod. There are, broadly speaking, 3 or 4 different types of lashing. Today we're going to take a look at tripod lash, which is a method of lashing 3 sticks together to make a strong and stable tripod. This means you can use it to make teepees, campfire tripods, supports for the end of shelters. There's all sorts of things. We can make cranes out of it. It's a really handy knot to know. So we'll take a look at how this all goes together. So here we have our 3 poles or sticks that we need to form our tripod. And then we're going to take our string and just like we did before, we're going to tie our clove hitch onto one of the poles. Just make sure it is a decent distance down from the top. I'm going to make sure that I'm pulling in the opposite direction to my working end. Then I'm going to take the cord over the top of the second stick underneath the third stick. Now I can come back underneath this middle stick over the top third stick. So we're just going under, over, go around. Probably guess, I'm going to say 3 times is about where you want to be. Then we've got our basic attachment together. And we can now we need to do the tightening, the binding. So we're going to be tightening the loops in the center of each of these poles, in between these poles. So what we're going to do is we're going to go vertically straight down through the middle, and we can pull up middle there. So we go under, through, we're just going to be pulling it tight. Then we can cross over to the space in between the other 2 poles, underneath, up, over there. Once we've pulled that tight, made sure it's snugged up, then we can tie our clove hitch over onto our last pole. This can be a bit fiddly, but important. Get as tight as you possibly can. Yeah, and then we can then put this up and we have our tripod. Now there is another way to tie it rather than doing our under, over style. What we can do is we can just wrap around all 3 like this, wrapping around. Make sure we can lie them all flat again. And then we can go on to our frapping. So we go straight down the middle here. So you might need to go a bit lower down the sticks to have enough space, and then pull it up and through. through like that, cross over, so it can be quite fiddly depending on how many knots and twigs there are on your poles. Yep, and then we can take it down somewhere onto our pole. We can tie our clove hitch. Make sure it's all tied and tightened off. Then when it comes to standing it all up, we just need to tilt and maneuver sticks around until it all locks together, just like that. So this is a fun one to have a go with. It's really useful, as I said, from teepees to campfire tripods. Really handy to know. It's really simple. So the important thing to remember is start off with a clove hitch. You can also use a timber hitch to start off with, but clove hitch is generally a nice all-rounder for this. Then you're going to be going over, under, through, or wrapping around all three, and then you've got to think about your frapping turns in between the poles, and then you just tie it off. So have a play, find some good solid poles, good solid pieces of hazel or something like this, and have a go at tying them together. This is a great activity to do if you're running sessions with kids, as it's really a nice knot to learn and the possibilities are endless for this. So have a practice, have some fun with it, and I will see you in the next video.